Don't have a thingy. Right.
Oh no. Oh no. We'll let it roll and see what happens.
Yeah. It all goes in the old memory box.
All righty. Well, welcome, guys. Welcome. We are going old school today. Old school, my friends. Jay, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Hey, Chris, how you doing? Good to see you guys. So we're going to old school today with just back to the original crew. Me, Russ Swordsman, Wargamer.
Have you upset Tony then?
Well, I don't know if I upset him. I don't think so. But for those of you guys that miss him, I got something special for you. Here we go.
Hi, Richard. Hi, Douglas.
Hey, Richard. Douglas, how you guys doing? Good to see you. So if anybody is missing Tony out there you go. So it'll still be the three of us. Unfortunately, fortunately for us, Tony will be nice and quiet today. So that'll be all. We'll be able to get so much done today. It'll be unbelievable. Holy cow. Hey, David, how you doing?
Hi, everyone.
Beat Cafe. Sorry, Beat Cafe.
Beat Cafe, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. So we're going old school today. No Tony, so we should be able to get lots and lots done. So we got a lot of things to talk about. I know.
That's the normal Saturday night. I don't know about getting lots done. I'm just chilling with the boys and girls.
Yeah, that's it. The double-headed eagle in the war room. That's right. We don't need the Mr. Hanger-On or Tony.
Hope he's having a crap time. That's all I can say.
No, he's actually it's his wife's birthday today.
Oh,
so to surprise her. And let's be honest, if she's got to be a really special person to put up with Tony, right? So he's got to do whatever he can to keep her happy, because if she leaves him, he's got no chance of getting somebody else. Holy cow.
He's like me. You hit every branch of the ugly tree on the way down.
Yeah.
But happy wife, happy life.
That's right. So Tony decided that for the second time in a month, he was going to take a week off of the war room. So,
Mike Berticelli's in the house.
Mike is here. So the first thing we're going to talk about, it's a good thing Mike is here, is we're going to talk about what had happened in the last week. So obviously, like, one of the most important things that happened in the last week was a little live stream we did last Sunday.
Tank Duel. Yes, I'm joking. I'm being silly.
Okay, all right.
I'm not going to talk about it too much, because once again, I got blown up. Once again. Good grief.
I think the final score was me and Tony had 17, and you and Mike had 5. And I'll lose 17 points. I'm pretty sure we got all 17 off of you. I took a shot at Mike, and I think I missed on my one chance I had to hit Mike. So it was a great time. We had a great time playing. It was a fun game.
Yeah,
it definitely learned a lot of good things playing with the designer of the game.
Yeah,
and so he's going to hook us up and play some more Wolfpack.
Yeah,
so that's going to be fun. So
it's a brand new game that's on P500 at the moment. So
right.
That tremendously. Submarines. You know what I'm like in a submarine.
You are. We'll get to that. That. So yeah. So it was a great time playing Tank Duel. I highly recommend, if you guys don't own Tank Duel, go buy Tank Duel. There's a couple expansions coming out. You're gonna have all kinds of tanks and stuff to play with. You can play on Vassal as well, but get a couple of your buddies together, and you'll have a really good time just sitting there blowing people up. And of course, it's always great to be on the winning side. So
yeah, all right.
That was a lot of fun. We didn't even get the +10 because of your bright yellow tank, though.
No, I know. We've got a few more people in the chat there. Hethwell and OG's here. Brian, hi Brian.
Hey, Blast Pop's here. Blast Pop.
Hex to Hex, yeah.
Hex to Hex is here. OG, how you guys doing? Brian Patterson, how you doing? Good to see everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. We're going old school today. If you're just joining us, poor Tony. He's out there. Someone babbling in somebody else's ear, which is fine. Gives us a free day. He's had to try to make amends with his wife and take her out for her birthday and stuff. So
nothing wrong with that.
What does that show us, though, Ruff? That, you know, he's got more important things than us in his life? That's pretty bad. That doesn't show much dedication, does it?
No, and that has been noted. And if somebody does make sort of whispers that, oh, if an opening happens, you know, maybe you would consider me, then, you know, that will be taken seriously, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I think so. I think applications, you can send your application request to idjesterlive@gmail.com. And yeah, I mean, yeah. But it was a good time with Mike and playing Tank
that was good fun. Joking apart, that was great fun. Yeah.
Good time. And then, of course, I had a live stream with another Mike Denson, on Wednesday, where we learned the last 100 yards. And that was really fun as well. And got to learn how to play the last 100 yards, talk to the designer, get his philosophies and what he was trying to accomplish with the system. And it's really kind of cool because it's one of these games, there's some new mechanics, right? So if I was going to vote for new mechanics, right? Adding new mechanics to game system, right? Because there's a lot of different tactical games out there. The new mechanic is kind of, as you move your units around, your enemy can react to you and do an attack, but you don't roll for your, you know, the success of the attack until the end of the turn. So you're moving all these pieces around and you're trying to move up on objectives, or you're trying to flank your opponent and they're shooting at you and stuff. And all you're doing is putting little counters on them to represent, you know, they've taken some strikes from enemies, but you don't know if they miss. You don't know if your units got killed, broken, whatever, till the end of the turn. So you might move some units up, and then all of a sudden you're thinking, oh, I'm going to take over this objective because I've got 3 units. But then you roll for your damage and you might not have any units there. So it's kind of interesting the way that is done. And I kind of like it. So.
And the second one, the airborne one, that's a standalone. You don't need the first one, do you?
That is correct. That is correct. But I would say that they're creating some what they call battle packs, and which are just going to be like scenarios and stuff. And some of them you're going to need the first game, and some you're going to need the second game because you're going to need the maps and the counters from the different games. So I would recommend, you know, if you can, pick up both of them. But, you know, if you wanted to display one or the other, you can, because they are standalone.
Right. I've got the last 100 yards on P500 and the Pacific one because of you guys and Hethwell and all this you're doing. So, you know.
That's it. That's pretty much it.
Poor old Tony.
Without him here, we get more viewers. So what does that tell us? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. We were doing pretty good, right? And then we had a couple people come in as kind of special guests. I don't know how Tony connived his way on the show permanently. I don't even know how that all happened. He was just like a special guest once because we felt bad for the dude because he had like 200 subscribers.
Yeah, look at him now. I think one week he wasn't there, and then the next week he was, and that was it. I don't know. I don't know what happened in between. There's some Twilight.
I don't even know. He's like, send me a link when your guys ready, I guess. And I was like, okay, I'll send him a link. And then he freaking keeps showing up. I don't know what happened. Holy cow.
There we go. So yes, I've got those on
Oh, Tony
P500.
said it was his wife's birthday, but he's meeting with another game designer. Oh, okay. Now we know the rest of the story. Now we know the rest of the story. Oh, we got a Class C program now.
Well, thank you, David.
David. It's funny. We've already accomplished more in these 14 minutes we've been live than in 2 hours with Tony here. It's seriously. We've got to talk about more things.
All right, let's get on
out
with it.
In here than with them here. I don't know. What's that say?
I don't.
So we have great time Sunday with Mike. We did a live stream, and then Thursday somebody had a live stream. Let's talk about that.
Oh, what the hunters? Yes, I'm learning as I go along the live stream thing. I'm relaxing more into it now. If hopefully you've noticed that, and it went very well. I tried when I got to the end of the patrol. I said, "Look, do you want me to stop now so we can get on with something else? You know, have a vote." And everybody went, "No, carry on." And Tony went, "No, you haven't beaten me yet. Carry on." So I've got to do another one next week to see if I can get sunk. And then we'll try something else. Got a few ideas. Some of the people in the chat and subscribers have suggested things to do. I've got, things. I want things that are quickish, and I can get on the one camera, and a solitaire. So I've got a couple of ideas. So yeah, that was good. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and thank you if you're in the chat. Thank you for coming along. That was good fun. Yeah, and I'm getting the hang of it.
Yeah, I was at work again, and I heard this ID Chester.
I know Chris keeps calling your name 3
and
times.
I'm like, damn, I wonder if Ruff's online again. And sure enough, I looked at it. It was like, hey, Ruff Swordsman went live 5 minutes ago. And I'm like, oh, I better jump in there and check it out. But I think you do it on purpose. I'm at work, so I can stay as long as no one calls me. Like literally 2 minutes after I started the live stream, somebody called me, and I'm like, damn,
you gotta go. That's
I gotta go. So I didn't get a chance to watch. So I don't know what happened. But
I wanted to ask everyone, because it's okay with you guys over, across the pond there. You go on sort of 1 o'clock in the morning, and it's early evening for you. I go on at 8, and it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon for Eastern Standard Time. Would it be better to go on at 9 o'clock, or is that too late for our guys over in the UK and Europe? What do you think? I don't mind putting it off for another hour, so that makes it 5 o'clock. What do you reckon, Jester?
I think you go on whenever you get a chance.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. And then because people can tell you, oh yeah, I'll show up at 4 o'clock, and then they get busy. They do things, whatever. So you might want to test and see, but is it really any different if you get 10 viewers or you get 20 viewers?
No. Well, as long as everybody's pleased with it, that's the main thing, isn't it? Everybody has fun, me and everybody watching. Yeah, I'll keep it as it is then, because then there's a chance you won't turn up.
Yeah, sometimes it's better to be scheduled. Like, if we do everything Saturday at 4 o'clock, at 4 o'clock, then people will just assume, oh, well, it's Saturday at 4 o'clock. Probably the war room's on.
Yeah.
We keep switching things around.
That's why I said Thursdays. Keep it at Thursdays. I'll keep it at 8 o'clock. If people start moaning, can you make it 9 o'clock? Then I'll make it 9 o'clock. But if not, I will not. And I'm hoping.
Yeah, I don't know if 8 or 9 is going to make that big a difference. Like an hour. If you're moving, say, from 3 o'clock in the afternoon to 8 o'clock at night, that's going to be a big difference, because you're going to get a totally different audience, because that's a pretty big switch there. So
it doesn't make a lot of difference over here, 8 or 9 o'clock, but it might make a bit of difference over your way, So anyway, we'll see. It's just a thought I had. But yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So I may be doing some more.
So what was your total tonnage sunk? Do you remember?
About 110,000.
Oh, you're real close to Tony. I think had
that's why he said, no, you can't stop.
I think he had like 119,000 or something.
It's quite near. So if I can get sunk or beat him, then I'll say, is that it? Can I? I thoroughly enjoyed it. But let's move on, because that will be number 4 live stream. You want to start moving on, don't you, to something else? I think, unless people go, no, let's have some more. I'll do what the punters say.
I'm ready to try again because I think I made like 68,000 and I got sunk. So I only had like maybe 2, maybe 3 patrols.
Yeah.
It wasn't very many.
Yeah.
But I got sunk.
But as I said it before, and I said it on the stream. I got my son playing a few games, which is great. And he's this hunters. Then I said solo. You have to sit and play. I'll sit with you. He went all right then, and he was thoroughly enjoying himself, going around the old put the map out and then do that. Got to his second patrol and got sunk.
Yeah.
So that was it. He went, oh, I said, that's it, mate.
Hey, he didn't like that, huh?
No, he said, oh, fair enough. But that's what I'm saying. It could be 2 patrols, could be 10 patrols, couldn't it? Depends how it goes.
Oh, actually, I did better than I thought.
Yeah?
Yeah. I got, I had 92,700 tons.
Well, that's not bad. That's not to be sniffed at, is it?
Yeah. And got sunk with depth charges from a destroyer on I think I wrote down the date on this. I think it was November 42. Where are you at?
Oh, I got promoted, so I've been doing it over a year.
Okay, because I think we started in May of 41, right?
Yeah, I think I'm in August 42 or something, if I remember offhand, and I got promoted to Korvettenkapitan.
Wow.
Because when you're out a year, you can roll for promotion, and I got it, and that was great. A couple of questions from Chris. First game you ever remember playing, and what was your first war game?
Probably Risk. I remember going to summer camp as a kid, and they had a bunch of different board games on a table, and we would play Risk like 10 times in that week we were there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I used to murder that game. My first game I ever played, my first game I ever played was Mousetrap as a young kidly. And my first, I suppose, war game, if it's a war game, Escape from Colditz.
What is it?
Escape from Colditz.
Never heard of that.
Oh, it's classic. It's a great game. I think published by Parker in them days.
Huh.
So there we go. I hope that answers your question, Chris.
First game was called Snakes in the Grass H5 War Game Tank Battle. That's funny. If you're if you're talking just game in general or war game, I thought he was talking war game. Yeah.
Well, the first game I played, that was Mousetrap before I got into everything. I was only about 6 or 7, and then Dad got me and my brother Escape from Colditz, and we played that to death. And then Risk came along, played that to death. So.
Mm-hmm. I would say probably first game I ever played was probably like Sorry, with the little bubble thing, and there was a dice inside the bubble, and you push down.
We called that something else over here. Was it Frustration? I think we called it Frustration.
Frustration.
Yeah, because it's Ludo, isn't it? You had the little Pop-O-Matic. It was called
Pop-O-Matic thing. Yeah, and then you move the little pieces of whatever you roll, and then you ran into somebody, and then you get to slide it up and knock somebody's piece back to their home.
Yeah, great game. That's a great.
Oh my gosh, look at this.
Oh, it had to be Todd, didn't it?
Had to be. There we go. We're missing the young pup today because he found something more important to do than us.
No, he's looking after his missus, taking her out, whining and dining her. I dare
whining
say.
and dining her and trying to make her realize he can give back for all the nonsense he does all year. So,
Todd reckons he's older than both of us.
Yeah, he's an old man.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, he does look.
he does got any hair left, and he's got to wear that robe because his skin is all wrinkly and
He feels the cold. Old people feel the cold, don't they?
Yeah,
so, yeah.
So that's good. Dave Gardner's got a hockey question. How you doing, Dave? Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. One of my good sports friends, and does a great job on his channel. If you're into sports, he does a great job. So check out Dave Gardner and his channel. So one of my good sports friend, buddy. Good hockey guy too. You don't find too many good hockey guys. So good to see.
Just wish I could get into sports games, but I can't. It's nothing to do with the games. It's just I'm not a sporty person.
Yeah. Well, I got Tony into doing a little bit of sports. Then he kind of put that on the back burner. But Pop-O-Matic dice, Pop-O-Matic dice. Is that what it was?
That's what it was. Pop-O-Matic.
God, those are the old days, right? Yeah. Well, we're going old school today. No Tony, just us old men here hanging out, having a good time. Just like the good old days, and we're still trying to figure out how the hell Tony weaseled his way into showing up every week. He was a one-time guest. Hey, Tony, we see you're a small channel. You got like 200 subscribers. You want to come on so we can introduce you to people? Sure, yeah. He shows up, and then he like shows up every week, and I don't know how it even happened. So we're gonna have to put out applications. I think make him earn his spot back.
David says Subbuteo rough. You used to play that as a kid. I used to have Subbuteo, but I think Rob's Rob Oren has cornered that market now. He has his Sunday league, doesn't he? Again, football. I've lost interest in it.
Have either of you played the solo game Pocket Landship?
I've got a video on my channel. So yes. Great, it's a great little game. I've only got the print and play version. I haven't got the retail version. It's got loads of more stuff in it.
Check out Swordsman. He's got a video on his channel.
You stick it in your pocket and that's it. You play it. It's great. Great little game.
Hey, there you go.
Not ASL, but it's it's a nice little time waster. It's a good little fun game.
Excellent. So yeah, we had the couple live streams, and even though no enemies here, I don't know if he's going through COVID or what he's having, but he left half of our things out for this week. I don't know what he was doing.
Bless him.
I don't know if he needs some editing help, some video help, or what he's doing over there, but we talked last week. He showed up to the live stream, and we were like, dude, you need to get with the program or we're going to have to give you hell. And then this week I was expecting some awesomeness, and he put one of my videos up. He didn't even talk about my live stream with the designer of the last 100 yards. I think he doesn't like GMT. I would say if you work for GMT, I wouldn't be sending Dan any freebies up there in Quebec anymore because he forgot all about you. Here I am doing a live stream broadcast with the designer of the game, trying to teach people and help people out. And he didn't even put it in his show. What's up with that?
I did a GMT game live stream, The Hunters, another GMT game. It's looking a bit dodgy.
Yeah. I don't think he just doesn't like GMT. I think
in his defense, I wouldn't like to do what he does and have to scour the internet every blooming week and look what people are doing. It'd drive me bonkers. So I can understand one or two escaping through the cracks,
Oh, don't give him any excuses. Don't give him any excuses.
But it's both of us, you see. That's what I'm saying. If it was one of us, but it's both of us.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. How is it me and you?
I love a conspiracy, me.
Mm-hmm. I think he's got something out for us. I think he's upset that he didn't get invited back to the war room. And this is what I tell all our guests, and we're completely honest, right? We have a whole lineup of people that are trying to get on the show, so we can't have repeat customers come back when we have other customers that want to come on the show and talk with us. Even though we don't have anybody this week.
No, you wanted it. We did discuss that, and you said, "No, let's just go old school, me and you, like old times," because we did discuss that. But,
right. That's to be honest. We were going to have a special guest this week, but because Tony couldn't make it here, I'm like, let's have a party and go old school again.
Yeah.
No guests, just me and Rough Swordsman having a good time talking war games, just like the old.
And have it back to normal when Tony's back next week, you know. So
yeah, exactly. And I figured if we're going to be able to do some good stuff, this would be the week. This would be the week because I'm telling you.
Have you noticed how easy it is to talk without, waiting? It's wonderful. It's refreshing.
You don't get interrupted every 5 seconds.
No. Or have to wait for him to take a breath so you can go, or put your hand up. See, I put my hand up. Do you notice I put my hand up?
You always see Rough there. Wait a minute. Can I get a word in here?
Tony. We love him. We love him. Yeah.
And we're still trying to figure out how he weaseled his way in every week. I don't know.
As I said, 1 week he wasn't there, the next week he was. And what happened in between?
I didn't even email you like, hey, Ruff, I'm thinking about expanding the show. Well, this Tony guy's pretty cool. Maybe we should have him in. Nothing like that. He just showed up. He just kept coming. I don't know how.
You used the Men in Black little zapper thing, didn't he? On
it's like,
yeah. Oh, you've always been here, Tony. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's too funny. That's too funny.
Anyway, do you want to talk about your P what's names? Have a P. Oh.
So this came last week.
Yes, and we
Tony.
No, Tony.
We didn't even get a chance to open it. Why didn't we get a chance to open it last week?
Well, I think Tony was. We were both talking.
I think Tony was just babbling, and I never got a chance to even open my brand new package. So, should we have a live unboxing?
Yes.
Okay.
You're going to move the camera, or you're just going to do it like that? You're going to don't cut yourself on your lap. Don't you dare have an accident,
dude. We're going old school, man. This is the way we used to do things, right? Okay. We're not being all professional today. That's not what it is. This is a box from Lock and Load Publishing, by the way. So, David,
sorry, Heath. Well, we're just joshing. We're just mucking about. So,
I think David Heath feels sorry for us. He comes on the show. He talks with us. And then he's been a viewer of the show and watches what we do. And I think he feels sorry for us. So occasionally, I think he'll throw us carrots, and hope
you got some more.
Huh?
What's that? Carrots?
Like, freebies. He'll throw us some freebies because he feels sorry for us.
What have you got now?
I don't know. I didn't order anything. So it's from Lock and Load.
Oh, lovely.
So I don't even know what it is. I have an idea because I was on the Lock and Load Publishing site, or maybe it was on our show, and David Heath had mentioned something about something. Oh, look at what we got here. Oh, it's a bill. It's a bill from David Heath for $200. So thank you, David, for that. I appreciate that.
Well, he sent you stuff and you got to pay
for it. Sent me a bill. He sent me something and then said, you got to pay this. So, no.
That's not
right.
I know you kidding.
But this is actually pretty nice, pretty cool. They have these nice little bookmarkers in here.
I didn't get one of them.
And and they have information on the back of it about if you're dealing with PSD issues or depressed or need to talk with somebody, they got all the counseling numbers and stuff, which shows that the Lock and Load actually cares about their customers. They're not just like, hey, buy our stuff. So that's cool.
Come on, what you got?
You want to see what I got?
Yes. I want one of them.
I got me an ammo crate.
Bugger.
I got me an ammo crate.
Lovely. I could do one of them with all. I could do with one of them with all the lock and loady stuff. That'd be great. But lucky you.
Yeah. So they sent me an ammo crate. Let's open up the ammo crate, shall we?
You must rub salt into the wound. Yes, you must.
So he I don't know when he was watching my video, our live stream, when we're going through and talking about how to best way to keep your stuff organized, and he had mentioned that he was going to send me something to help with that. Oh, yeah.
How many you get in there? 3.
There is. Are you ready for this? Can you count this high? This is 3 big, thick counter sheets. Oh, look, they even have the Lock and Load Publishing logo in there. See that?
Yeah, they're nice.
Yeah, very nice. So, like, if you want to take all of your counters for one of the game systems, Nations at War or Lock and Load Tactical or whatever, and you want to keep all the counters in one little nice organized area. Wow, this is awesome. I love it. So thanks to Lock and Load and David Heath, and probably OG had something to do with this. Or maybe OG's telling them, hey, help my guys out because they need help.
OG's great. But yeah, well done. Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks guys. Thanks Lock and Load. Appreciate it. Love it. So that's been sitting there for a week because we were supposed to open it last week, but never got around to it because Tony's busy yakking every 5 seconds.
So you want to talk about your P's?
Talk about my
GMT stuff, and you were going to talk about that.
Yeah. Let's. You want to talk about that now?
Well, unless you've got something else to talk about.
You know what? This is old school, man. We can do whatever and talk about whatever we want, man.
There's no script.
So let's talk about the P500s. Have you ordered any new ones?
I have.
Really? What did you order now?
Well, one that's been on there for a little while, because if I posted a couple of pictures and there's an unboxing next week. It's been out a while and I'm late to the party, as I said. I got myself a copy of Space Empires, the 4X.
Did you?
Yeah, I've been wanting that and you think, should I get it? Should I get something? And I thought, oh, I'll get it. And Second Chance Games.
Hey, Platypus, how you doing?
Yeah.
He's one of my good friends from where I used to live in Ohio, and he actually got me into Lock and Load Publishing way back in the day. He taught me how to play the Lock and Load Tactical, so it's all because of him right there. Platypus, wow, good friend of mine, personal friend.
See you, buddy. Yeah, so I got it from Second Chance Games, and I tell you what, I ordered it Monday. It came Wednesday. Good grief, blooming brilliant. And so I thought, what I'll do is they've got the other 2 expansions there, and I'll get those as you go along. But the third and final expansion is on P500, so I thought I might as well get it. And so I've ordered that. What else did I order? Let me have a quick look, because I can't remember, because I order so much, you see.
He's lying. Don't listen to him. He's a big fat liar.
I might. Yeah, I am.
No, Platypus.
Oh, sorry, I
don't know this guy. I'm here for rough Swordsman.
Swordsman can't even spell my name right. What's going on?
No, yeah, that's the way he is.
I don't know.
That's the way he is.
What have I got here? Last 100 yards, the Solomon Islands. Yeah, I got that. I thought I'll get that because everybody's raving on about it. I think, yeah, Unconditional Surrender has now gone on to what's name, and the other one, yeah, Space Empires. I think those were the only 2. Yeah, they're the only 2. In the Shadows as well, which is a sort of resistance game, I think. So I've got that as well.
Well, let's check out. We normally did this for a while, and then we just kind of axed it from our normal show because we don't ever have time for it. But so let's see what's in final production. We got 3 of them right now: Atlantic Chase, Bayonets and Tomahawks, and the Samurai Battles, Command and Colors. So I'm getting the Samurai Battles.
So I haven't got any of those. No.
You don't have any of them. Okay, so let's see what's at the printer now. So we have 1846 rates to the Midwest. We got the Space Corps Ventures, Storm of the Reich, The Dark Summer, Normandy, 1944, and Wing Leader, 1937 and 1945.
You looking forward to getting Wing Leader?
No, I'm probably not going to buy that one. I am getting Storm of the Reich and The Dark Summer.
Same here.
You got both of those? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, although Tony just did a live unboxing this week. Why is it always about Tony? What's going on? There's something wrong.
The other day,
the whole show is about Tony, and he's not even freaking here. He did a live unboxing of his 18XX game he just got in the mail the other day.
I missed that. Is that back on his channel? Because
that's on his channel. Yeah, it's.
I was looking. It wasn't there for a while. I don't know if you had problems. Let me just check. If it is,
I think it was just the title was something like "What's Inside the Box" or something.
Yeah, I've got it now. It must have. Yeah, it's back. It's back on now. So I'll look at that later.
Yeah, it was "What's in the Box" because he got a couple things, but one of the things in the box was his 18XX game.
He likes those, doesn't he?
He does.
A lot of people do. I don't know. I like trains, but one day, maybe one day.
And we got a lot in that made the cut. Some more 18XX games. I have Banish All Their Fears, Banish the Snakes. I ended up just getting the CDG solo system because I'm a big CDG guy.
Did you not get the?
That goes back to Platypus, right? We used to play a lot of the card-driven games, and
did you not get China's War?
I did get China's War, yeah. I also got Crusader. I got the Fall of Saigon, France 40, Great Battles of Julius Caesar Deluxe Edition.
I've got tons in that
Mr.
one.
President, Musket and Pike Dual Pack, Normandy 44 third printing, the Pacific War, People Power, Pursuit of Glory, Red Dust Rebellion. This is something I don't recall. I don't think I got Skies Above Britain. What do we know about this one?
I have.
See, I don't have any of these ordered, but it looks like
but it's now Skies Above Britain with Spitfires and Hurricanes.
Well, look at that. High Solitaire. I might have to just order that one.
We've got that one.
You got that one? There's your Space Empires.
Yeah, I thought I'd get it. It's the final one, he said.
The final core. The final core.
All good things, it's called. So, decided to end it there. So I thought I'd get it. And then I can get the other two at my leisure. Because I think I'm going to like Space Empires.
I got North Africa, the first battle pack for tank duels. Last 100 yards, Solomon Island. The Russian campaign 5th edition with the mounted map board.
Yeah.
Webinar Republic. And Wolfpack. And I might have missed some in there. I've got a ton of that. I got a pretty big list. Yeah, I got a pretty big list.
Frightening. What about the new ones? Anything in the new ones you're getting?
So, let's see. Not there yet. So let's see if we can push some of these up. Well, this is new. Fields of Fire, the Bolds campaign. I don't remember that.
I've ordered that already.
Have you?
Yeah, it's like an add-on pack, bulge pack. That doesn't
Oh,
sound
it
right.
is an expansion for Fields of Fire 1.
Yeah, I haven't got 2. I've got to get that as well, but I need to play Fields of Fire a bit more. I've hardly played it because of what I do now. It's but yeah, I've ordered it anyway. It's not that expensive. In the Shadows, that's the one I've got there. I think that's the it's a lunchtime game. It's a card-driven game, so you'll be pleased that I'm getting converted about the Resistance.
Yeah, I see. A card-driven game you can play in a lunchtime. 1943 to 1944. That sounds pretty good to me.
Everybody's going bonkers about Mons.
Don't know much about that one.
Yeah, everybody seems to be going crazy about it.
I am getting Wing Leader Supremacy. No.
Are you getting Vietnam?
I don't
Says
know.
It says it's not very solo friendly. It's a remake of the classic, is it 1970s game? But I don't know. It's quite expensive. For low, there might be a lot of Fog of War hidden stuff. See, let's right.
I'm trying to be a little bit smarter, right?
Yeah.
Because unlike you, Ross Swordsman, I can actually control my urges to order just things that are going to fit on my table and not take me 6 months to play.
Yeah, but you see, being British, you'd think I'd have that stiff upper lip and resolve and steadfastness to not do things. But let me tell you, us Brits are not like that, really. When you get to know us, we want, I want it, yeah. So yeah, I'm a bit like that, I'm afraid.
Yeah, a lot of there's just so many. I've got this one on pre-order for the people. I've got Liberty or Death. I've got there's just so many I can go over.
I've got all the Panzers and MBTs on order.
Okay. I need everyone in the chat to go pre-order all these things so we can start bumping them up the list and get some of ours games ordered.
Unless I've read it wrong, the last month's, not this new one that just come out, the last GMT newsletter said that they were pushing Panzer forward and MBT to be at the printers in February, but didn't mention anything in the new newsletter. So I don't know what's going on. But I hope they all don't come at once. That I'll be bankrupt.
Oh, you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
But yeah.
You'll be fine. Well, that's a look at what's upcoming probably in the next month or so from GMT here. So hopefully we'll get some Samurai battles. Atlantic Chase, I know Mike said that was supposed to be pretty good, but I don't know if that's something that's going to be up my alley or not. How user friendly is it, or solitaire friendly is it?
Ish.
Yeah, it's ish. And I'm not sure if this pre-plotted movement and stuff. I don't know.
I think that's why it's not right up there, solitaire. Not that I know too much about it. Okay, you're seeing it from the escort point of view, which is refreshing. But I'd rather stay below ground. And there's another game there I want called Wolf Pack. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I looked at it, but as it wasn't 100%, Dewberry, then I've given them.
Literally, if you counted them up, there's probably.
Hold on, Mike's just put a comment there that's just put the spanner in the works about Atlantic Chase. Second up there, yeah. Thanks, Mike.
Okay, it hasn't been. Okay, well, what are they waiting on? Who? Let's get a hold of the GMT web person and tell them to update some stuff then.
Because that's what's put me
one of the criteria we look at here is game manufacturers and their websites, and we've been talking really good about the GMT website compared to a lot of the other game manufacturers, and how when you actually click on something, you get to see it, you can preview it. They've got links to articles. They give you all the information. They show you a picture of the map. They give you all the ratings and stuff that you need to know to make a wise decision as a customer. So those are all positive things, right? So we've been talking good about the GMT website. But if they're going to have out-of-date information and not keep it up to date, then we're going to have to take them down a few notches. So
is that charging?
You need to make some calls Monday morning. Say, hey, Jester said you better get somebody to update the websites. Tell them or have them call me. Have them call me. You got my number. Have them call me.
They're charging now, and I did that with Vietnam, and there was a bit of a mix-up with because I did it late.
So if they started shipping yesterday, why are they still on the? Why are they not on the list? Right? Why are they still in charging? Come on, GMT.
They're normally on the ball.
Don't let us down. We've been talking really good about GMT. We don't want to find out bad information about you. Come on now. Keep up to date on your stuff.
Yeah, they're normally on the ball.
I think what we're going to do is before the next Charles Edward Roberts Award ceremony next year, whenever they have it, the week beforehand, we're going to have our own award ceremony ahead of time.
All right.
So that way we can beat them to the punch.
All right, then.
Right?
Yeah, all right. Whatever you say, boss. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Mike, make some calls Monday morning and tell them to get somebody to get on that.
You see, if they had put that in there before it went into charging, where there was at the printers or whatever it was, I probably would have ordered that. But now it's shipping, evidently. I'll wait till he gets over here and pay another 20, 30 quid. I don't care.
Yeah. And one of the categories we're going to have is War Game Company Website of the Year. So if GMT or whoever wants to win that award, we didn't even have the award name, right? It's going to be called the Hexies. I think our good friend what's his face? Jay, not Jay. It wasn't Jay. It was who was that? Was that who gave us that name? I don't think it was Jay. Was it Jay?
I can't remember. It's so long ago.
Or was it Steeler fan? One of those two said, "Hey, why don't you call them the Hexies?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's perfect." So we're using that. So we're giving out the Hexies. And we're going to what do we call it? What is it when you what's it called when you make it so no one else can use that term?
Trademark.
We're going to trademark the Hexies. That's it. Is
that the word?
You heard it here first. We are trademarking that. So if you're trying to steal our ideas, you're going to pay through the nose. You're going to pay big bucks for that. Big bucks.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was a shame because I probably would have ordered Atlantic Chase, but never mind, Never mind. Save me a few quid.
Well, they gotta keep up to date on their website. I'm telling you, I'm going to be watching that. So we got.
Oh yeah. There's no point me telling them that this is all done tongue in cheek because people will still believe that you're for real.
What's that?
People don't believe it's in tongue. We do this tongue in cheek, but there are people that will still believe that you mean what you say, and you don't mean what you say, do you?
I always mean what I say. What are you talking about? What don't I mean?
I was afraid you were going to say that.
Why?
But moving on.
I always mean what I say. When do I not mean what I say?
I know. And Chris, behave yourself. All right. That's all I'm saying.
What did Chris do now? What did Chris do now?
It's up the top there. Look.
We talked about Kickstarters last week. I think it was last week we talked about Kickstarters. We talked about the 4 Kickstarters that I pre-ordered in December of 2019 that I still haven't gotten.
Anyway,
now, I think there would be mitigating circumstances and stuff that I would order a Kickstarter from a company, say from like Lock and Load Publishing, because I know I can watch their live streams every couple weeks and see what's going on with them. And David Heath, the owner of the company, is there telling you where they're at, what's going on with them, and they're not trying to give you the runaround. When I get an email from DVG giving you every excuse in the book about why their Kickstarter isn't here that they promised would be here every week for 2 months, I don't trust them worth anything anymore. I will never pre-order a DVG Kickstarter ever again. That's right. Well, it depends how we spell our hex.
Oh, yeah, it's like web pages, isn't it? You've got to buy every one up.
Yeah, we're gonna have to buy them all.
We're gonna have to buy every hexes up that are possible.
We're gonna have to do that.
Yeah, sure. It's gonna cost. We'll have to ask for donations. Ah, it's terrible. That's a lot of work for you, Jester.
Yeah, well, it's worth it. It's worth it for our customers, our people. There's people out there that rely on us to give them accurate, positive information. And if it costs us a little bit of money, then it costs us a little bit of money. I mean, we should be getting donations for this, really. I mean, maybe we should charge people to come watch the show.
Good grief. Oh dear, I'm just looking up, see what, because you sent me, you're very much aware, very on top of everything, and you sent me a little thing saying this is what I'm going to be talking about, and I replied, and but I can't find it now. Oh, here we are. Just to see what you're.
I see you did your usual prep for the show.
I did. I said chuck those in.
I read your email, but I don't remember what you said, and I don't know where it's at. That's your usual prep. Oh, all right. So we actually got subjects we're going to talk about. What would you like to talk about first?
Well, I'm just trying to find your other emails, but they've been hidden away for some reason.
I think maybe you're just deleting them.
I could be because I'm crap on the old doodah. Let me. I can't see it anywhere. You've got a list of them, haven't you? That was one of them.
Yes.
The other one was about
to bring. You know what we could do? We can go old school. We're going old school, right? So we can list a few topics and see what people want to talk about, right?
Okay, sounds good.
Does that sound good to you?
Yeah, sounds great.
All right. So here are the subjects me and Ruff had discussed previously about topics to talk about. So I suggested we have a awards and we talk about all of our great viewers and stuff. And Ruff said, basically, no, it's not worth it. They all suck. So let's talk about these other things. So one of the things I suggested we talk about was the GMT update to the P500 list, since it's been like several months since we've done that. Let's check that off the list because I think we did a pretty good job of letting people know what's available, what's not. Guys, go check them out. Get some of those on the bottom. Let's get them up. Get those orders in if you're going to get any of those ones that are like getting ready to ship out. Ways to improve war games. Ways to improve war games. And what should be included or not included in the box.
Well, I think the game should be in the box, certainly.
I'm just giving you the subjects.
Oh, sorry.
And the other thing is, we can talk about some of the smaller game companies and what games they're producing and whether or not they're worth getting, which is all good stuff. And then you replied back, are there too many war game publishers? Are there too many war games published each year? Why are so many war game companies not UK or Euro friendly? And most anticipated war games of 2021. Ours and the chats, and even though it doesn't matter what the chat says. Wow. If you guys got these emails that I got from Ruff, you guys, woo. So, does any of those topics sound interesting to anyone that we would like to talk about? So, here's what I mean when I talk about ways to improve games and what should be included and not included in the box. All right. So, for example, what game was it that I was looking at just the other day? I will give you a great example. So, one thing that there's several things I don't think should be included in a game anymore. Okay. Dice. Number one, unless you have a game that has some kind of crazy special dice with special sides on it, you don't need to include 6-sided dice or 10-sided dice or 8-sided dice or 12-sided dice or 20-sided dice or any of those dice in your game anymore. The reason you don't need to is because they usually have to recreate how they're going to lay things in the box because they're going to have this dice in there, right? They're going to have this dice in there. And so they have to usually create inserts so they can put the dice in there so everything else can lay flat on it. All that because they want to ship you a 10-sided dice. Doesn't make sense to me. Oh, I know what game it was. Right? This is a perfect example of why we don't need to have dice included in our games anymore. Because the manufacturer has to create and design these inserts that go in the game because they have these dice in there. And they don't want the dice to interfere with all their other things they've got to go and lay flat in the box. So game manufacturers want to include dice, but they have to create this fancy dancy insert just so they can get the dice in there and then they can put everything on top of it.
Would you do me a favor and take that insert out and then put the game back and then put the dice on top?
But that's not how the game comes.
Well, just saying.
That's what I'm saying. We don't need dice in the game. You don't need to create the game with these inserts because you are including dice in your game. If the manufacturer ships them without an insert and they have everything, right? They have everything in the box, nice and flat, and then they have the dice on the top, that's fine, right? I don't have a problem with that. That's not the way the game comes. That's what I'm saying. They go through the process of creating these inserts.
Everybody throws them away.
Everyone picks them up and goes, whoosh, I don't need that. What I'm going to do is put all my stuff in flat, and then I'm going to put all my dice and stuff on top, and then put the lid back on top.
Also, as A. Gray says, they've got to ship these all around the world, so it stops the box dishing. If you can fill it up with an insert right to the top, it will stop the lid from being buckled. I think that may have something to do with why they do it. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. A. Gray makes a good point.
Okay. So, as a game manufacturer, right, I am spending time, money, and energy to create a box insert that no one is going to use because I've got to find a way to put my dice in there. Now, if these inserts are in there, right, so that they can put the insert in there and then they can put the top on. So they put the top on and now it's completely thick, right? Can't they just create a box that's instead of 2 inches high, created 1.5 inches high, and then they wouldn't need the insert? It would save them money. The games would be cheaper, and they're not going to waste time, money, and energy creating an insert that nobody's going to use.
Well, I think you should get on the old tippy-tappy Monday morning and put those things to the companies. I think they're valid points. Whether or not you'll get any reply, me personally, I love the dice. I love getting the dice. Can't have too many dice. I know. I've got tons of the blooming things, but I still like getting dice because sometimes you go, oh, that's a nice colour, or oh, that's a different one, or these are crap. These can go in the tin, and I'll get a couple of my own out. But I do like getting dice. I'm sorry, but that's me.
Okay, I know you're new to wargaming, right? And you're just a little pup. You're just a baby. You've only been doing this a little bit of time, right? Literally, this is what you're going to end up with in like 2 years of buying games, because all you're going to do is have a bunch of different dice sitting at your table. And who in their right mind can't get an 8-sided dice or a 10-sided dice or a 6-sided dice?
I know. I've got tons
You
of
can
them.
go in order, like for Christmas time. Look.
Bless him.
Right? So if you want the special and the cool dice and something unique and whatever, right? You can do this.
You can go and buy them, I know.
Like literally, right? So like literally, hang on. Got to get them all set for you guys here. Look at this. Nice. Ooh, isn't that cute? Look at a little dice bag, right? Look at these. Look at these. Look at that. Aren't those cool?
Well, they're horrible.
Wow. And they got all kinds of fancy designs on them. And
I get your point. But
$5. I can go to Amazon and order this super cool special set of dice.
Yeah,
$5.
I don't have to.
Go ahead.
I get your point. But people or gamers being gamers or war gamers being war gamers, can you imagine the uproar that would occur if they left dice out? Because people expect dice in a game. Can you imagine it? Some people say, oh, I don't need more dice. Blooming hell, straight in the bin. I've got better ones than that. And other people go, oh, more dice. Yeah, that's me. But if you leave them out, you can bet your bottom dollar that people will go crackers. So it's best for people to go, oh, I don't need the dice, and put them away, rather than somebody go, oh, there's no dice. That's how I see it, knowing what human nature is like.
I think you are correct, except for if I'm GMT, right, or I'm Lock and Load or whatever company I am, and I'm shipping out this game, I'm going to put in big bold letters, this game does not come with dice. If you're expecting dice, don't, because it doesn't come with dice. Then everyone that orders the game now knows this game is not coming with dice.
That would be a thing. And another thing, I think somebody mentioned it in the chat. I mean, Ziploc games and magazine games, of course, don't come with dice.
right? Why
So
not?
I'm just
So
because I can't post.
I'm just
them
saying, when we're talking about what things need to come in a box and what don't need to come in a box, for me, dice don't need to come in the box. You don't need to create inserts for your game. How much money? How much money do you think it costs GMT to produce and design those game inserts?
5 cents.
Printing of those game inserts
I
and
don't
the
know.
time that it takes somebody to fold it and put it in a box. That's all wasted time, money, and energy.
Oh, don't decision games come with dice then? This they just said they don't come with dice.
There you go. You just tell your customers we're no longer going to include dice in our games. It's just not feasible for us to do anymore. We can save you $5 a game.
Yeah, no, they cost pennies, dice. But let's put it this way: if I got a game,
though, we're talking about things they don't need. If they don't need the dice, they don't need to create those crazy inserts.
Well, they do if they've got cards in them.
No, they don't.
That's mainly what they have them for, isn't it? For the cards.
Well, I mean, there's lots of reasons why, but mostly it's to keep everything flat. The
So
cards don't make it so they can't make things flat.
Well, they put them in the insert so the thing lays flat when they put the lid on. Anyway, I love to see dice. If everybody stopped putting dice in their games, it wouldn't bother me.
Okay. And think of all the money the game companies could save by not having to, not have to print 3-inch boxes or 2.5-inch boxes or 2-inch boxes. They could save a half an inch on each of their boxes, which it's going to cost them less money.
That's another matter. If they go, oh, we can now make the box a bit slimmer, but there's 6 counter sheets in this game. You're not going to be able to put them in the box, are you? So I think everybody needs to have at least 2 inches, 3 inches for games that have a lot of counter sheets.
Well, I mean, you're missing my point, Ruff.
I'm not missing your point, but you're saying they can make it a half
box. If you need a 2-inch box because you're going to produce a 1/2-inch insert plus all your other stuff, and you're not going to produce it with that 1/2-inch insert, you can then go from a 2-inch box to 1.5-inch box.
But then you've lost space for your counters, haven't you? If it's got lots of counters, that extra half inch that had the insert, you take out, so you've got a little bit of room to put your baggies or your container in for your counters.
It would be the same amount of space you would have anyways.
No, you've got 3, 4, 5 counter sheets, and it's full up to the top. You punch them out and put them in the bags. You won't get the lid on. You just won't. I know. So you have to either store them externally or have a deeper box. Anyway,
okay, they could even keep the same size of the box. I don't care about that, but they don't need to include dice. They don't need to include these stupid counter or these inserts. The other thing they don't need to include in the game, and a lot of people are going to get all bent out of shape when I say this one. Are you ready for this? You think dice was a bad comment? Just wait until you hear this one. The next thing they don't need to include in a game is the rules. They don't need to go through the time, trouble, and effort of printing out the rules for the game.
I think
because number one, 92.5%. Now that's pretty accurate. 92.5% of the time when you get a game, the rules that come in the box have already been undone by errata and updates and everything else. And what do you got to do? You got to go to the website, you got to download the new rules, and you got to print them out. Game manufacturers are wasting time, money, and resources printing out game rules when they're out of date. That's my first point. My second point is 92% of the people out there don't even read the rules out of the box. They will read the rules online.
Why not just get rid of the game and have it print and play? You don't need a box, don't need dice, don't need the rules, don't need the counters, the map.
You
Do it
do need
yourself.
the box, you do need the counters, you do need the maps. Those are things you should include.
But if you're saying about the rules, if they're that bad when they get to you, should the game not be released? You know, if everything is errated, but
Well,
everybody
here's the problem.
everybody expects a bit of errata when a new game comes out. That's just cause, yeah. But if you're saying all the rules, you've got to go and reprint them out, the game shouldn't have been released, in my opinion, because there's no way I'm going to print.
Okay. Name one game that doesn't have updated rules. Name one. Go ahead.
That's fine. You know, there's errata to the rules. All games have got that. We should have said this instead of that. This is wrong. When we said this, we mean that. That's fine. You can get your rules and change it and make it notes in it. But if the rules are that bad that you have to have a complete rule book to download, then they shouldn't have been.
Because when they go to ship these games and print them, it's like another I don't know, 3, 4, 5 months before they actually ship them out to people. And then 3 or 4 months, there's going to be errata. There's going to be changes to the rules. There's going to be updates. There's going to be all kinds of things that happen in the meantime. There isn't one game that's produced now that doesn't have new rules almost immediately. By the time I get a game, and we can try this, right?
No, you're right. You're right.
Next game we get, both of us, and Tony, if he ever comes back, next game we get, we'll go online and see if the rules have been updated from the day we open the box and see. And we'll start keeping track throughout the rest of the year, and we'll find out how many games have updated dice. Yes, extra work for you.
Grief. I'm not saying you're wrong. You know, I mean, I just got Space Empires, and I'm pretty sure that's now set. It's been out for a good few years, and that's pretty settled. I think if there's any rule updates, hopefully it'll only be an errata sheet. But talking about dice and tray bits in the bottom, that didn't have one. The dice were sitting on the top in a little bag, orange and black, very snazzy.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. Of course, they've probably figured out that we don't need one.
But it wasn't a 3
to have an insert. There's nothing that says the game has to come with an insert.
But it was in a 3-inch box. And the new expansion, the last expansion for Space Empires 4X, evidently, is in a 4-inch box.
Yeah. So and I know from just talking with Mike Denson about the last 100 yards that they have the original, the last 100 yards original game has a set of rules, and then the Airborne expansion has all new rules based upon player feedback and blah, blah, blah. So if you just buy the original game, you still got to download and print out. If you don't order the Airborne expansion, you got to print out and have those rules to play. So what I'm saying is games don't need to have this in the box because of all of these issues. I can get the rules and download them and play them and have them on my computer screen as I play the game. I don't need to have a printed copy. How many people out there actually sit down with the rule book and read it step by step by step by step and not download the rules? Well, you're old school, man.
That's why
you're like one of the old timers.
I love thumbing through the rule. It's iPads and things. I love the rules. You know, it's just me. Maybe I'm a dinosaur. I don't know.
I mean, think of how much money game companies can make by stop doing these stupid things. Printing dice or buying dice and putting them in their box, creating inserts that they don't need, printing rules that nobody uses. I mean, all that is got to cost the game manufacturer $5 to $10, $6, $7, whatever it costs them, and it's then added to the cost the customers got to spend to buy them, right? So our games are costing more because of all these things they put in the game that we don't even need. I don't need your six-sided dice because I literally have 428 of my own 6-sided dice.
Yeah, I get that. With rules and things, I don't think it will make much difference to the cost. And if the game companies left the rules out, I can't see them knocking 10 quid off, $10 off because it hasn't got a rule in. They won't do that. They'll keep it. They'll need their profit margins. I think if most games cost 10, 20, 30 bucks to make each, if that, and they sell them for 60, so they're getting 100%. Taking out a rule book which costs $1 to print isn't going to affect the price. So put the bloody rule book in. Thank you.
You don't think it costs them more than $1 to put dice, inserts, and rules in the game?
Well, maybe $2.
Why do you think the folios are so cheap? Why can they sell a boxed game, right? Well, that's not even a game, but they can sell a boxed game for $70, but they can sell you the folio for $24. Now, why is there such a big discrepancy in there? Tell me. The folios, I have a perfect example for you, right? If you want examples, because I got examples. Where is it? Right here. D-Day Quad. Let's talk about D-Day Quad. These are folio games. It costs like $17 a piece. Mm-hmm. You buy this game, it costs you like $80. So why is there such a discrepancy when you're doing the folio games versus this box game?
Because people are paying $80 for it. Whereas a folio game at $17 probably costs $5 to make.
Right. Why does it only cost them $12 to print it all out? Because they're not including all this other stuff in there.
No, it doesn't cost them $12. It costs them $5.
Or whatever it costs them. Right. But it doesn't cost them. It doesn't cost them that much more. So they can create the folio games for a lot cheaper because they're not including all that other stuff. They're not including dice. They're not including inserts. They're not including, well, some of them don't even include the rule book.
Right.
So you could do that with your normal games. And because, again, these are things that don't need to be in the game.
Right. And still charge.
They're not going to charge you $80 if you're not going to. No, they're not.
Because you want a box, because you want it in a box. Okay, it might not be 80 quid, it might be $60.
Okay, so you save $20 because they didn't put this other crap in. That's not good.
Well, people want it,
Who wants it? I don't want it.
I want it.
You're the one dude out there that does.
Well, I haven't heard anybody else. You're the one dude that doesn't want it.
Wolf. The first thing he says he does when he opens a game is he throws the insert out.
We all throw the insert away.
Nobody wants them. If you can save $20 a game,
you're not going to save $20 with an insert, are you? That costs pennies to make. It comes pre-folded, and they put it in.
Pennies to make. There's no way they cost pennies to make.
Of course it does.
No, you got to design it. You got to print it. You got to pay somebody to actually fold it and put it in the box. What do you think? There's like monkeys out there that put them in the box?
You're now calling people that pack war games monkeys?
I'm calling monkeys. Do you think they've got trained monkeys there?
No, but they pay to pack the box up, so they've got these pre-folded. They go blah, 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 and there's a knack to it. In it goes, bump, 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 bang, wallop. Off to the
I'm not on my own. Go watch Art Wolf. Talk to Art Wolf. He does the exact same thing everyone else does. He takes the insert and throws it in the trash can. Nobody wants them.
We all do, but it's not going to save you 20 quid off the game if they don't.
It might save you $10. Isn't it worth saving $10?
It won't save you $10. I'm pretty
sure
it'll
save you $10.
It won't. Anyway, we'll agree to disagree. I don't think it will save 10. If it saved $10, then yeah, I'll be all for it. But no,
I'm talking about I'm talking about everything. I'm not just talking about the insert. I'm talking about the dice, the rules, the inserts, and all the other crap that they put in the games that they don't need to include. How many games do you order that has an order book in it? Right? Let's see if I can get, order our games. Here are the other games, right?
Companies do that, don't they? They put an
No,
advert
I
in.
probably threw that out too, right? How many games do you get where you order a game, you open it up, and it's got like a catalog in it?
Yeah,
You don't need
yeah.
to print this catalog out. How many people here? Raise your hand, anyone. Raise your hand if you're in the chat and you've ordered something from a catalog that came in your board game. Please raise your hand because I want to hear from you. Not a single one of us has ever done that.
Everybody's on the internet, or 99% of the people are on the internet. Sure, I can agree with that. But from a business point of view, they're not going to do it because it's that 1% may order only from the old school way of doing things. That you can't. This is the problem, isn't it? What I want, what you want, are two different things, and you can't cater for everybody. So you might as well bang it all in, and you don't upset anyone then, except you.
Yeah, Art Wolf just had an episode on Are War Games Too Expensive, right? Where he talks about why war games are so expensive now. Okay, one of the reasons war games are so expensive is because the game manufacturers want to put all this crap in their boxes when they don't need to, and they're not going to pay for it. We're going to pay for it. And it's because old timers, they're costing us money. Because if I order 5 games a year, that's $50, and I could order me another one, right? I could order me another one if they would decrease the price because they're not putting all this crap in it anymore. Nobody orders from their stupid catalogs, right? Nobody orders from their stupid catalogs they put in there. And if you do, if you put in the chat that you raise your hand because you do that, you're a liar because nobody does that. I want to see your receipt. I want to see a picture of your mail where you shipped it out in the mail from their catalog. Nobody does that. So,
but as somebody might say, if you get a catalog in a game, you think, oh, I'll have a look at that later, off to bed, or when you want 5 minutes peace somewhere, a certain room, you'll get the catalog out and have a look through, won't you? Just saying.
Is that what you do with the catalog?
Just saying.
Is that what you do with the catalog?
I've never received a catalog because I don't own a Compass game because they're too bloody expensive to get over here. I can't pre-order them, which brings me on to the point I wanted to talk about. They're just I haven't got a Compass game. I think, are they the only one that does it? GMT certainly don't. I don't know.
Decision Games. Right, Decision Games. They came out with the folios for the D-Day. I know they do it. And like I said, the only reason the folio games are so cheap is because all you're getting is the map and the counters and the stuff you freaking need to play the game. Right? And you can get it for $20 if you don't care about having a box and their stupid catalog and an insert that you're going to throw in the trash can, and of course your piece of crap dice they put in there because they're trying to save money, and they put piece of crap dice in the game.
I agree. I'm not disagreeing with you. It's just what I like. I'm not disagreeing. Everybody's entitled, aren't they, to what they want? It's whether or not we get it. But yeah, Jez, they are readily available, but they tend to be very expensive because they're expensive games anyway. And when they get over here, they're.
So let's talk. You wanted to talk about it. Let's talk about it. Go ahead. Give us your. I know you don't. This might be the first time this year, but maybe you don't love this situation.
I know it's been mentioned before. It has been mentioned before, and we've got a few people from UK and Europe in the old chat. And Chris was saying, yeah, why is it only people like GMT that do a sort of Euro-friendly shipping to the UK and Europe? So you can order these games, and you do save a little bit of money. I mean, I've only done it once, and I got Vietnam, and I saved, I think it must have been 20 quid. So, or getting on for that. So I'm happy doing it. You get the game a bit quicker, which is what we all love. But apart from Lock and Load, I think Lock and Load do it. And even DVG have a Euro sort of friendly shipping. But people like Compass and Legion Games and Decision Games, who I would like to have a sort of dip my toe in. They've got some great games and I'd like to get them at a little bit of a discount if they did a Euro-friendly shipping, but they don't. They just don't do it. And the other company, they've got a couple of games I'm very interested in, but where are we? Canvas Temple publication. They refuse to send to Europe and the UK, I think. So, you know, and the problem is, you know, it's my turn to babble, isn't it? The problem is...
No, go ahead. Yeah, it's your turn.
The problem is that most of the sales for games, American companies, war games, is in America, of course. Of course it is. But they tend to forget there is quite a significant amount of potential sales in the UK and Europe. And
Obviously not. If there was, they would ship them out there.
But there is. There's, I reckon, if, you know, even over here, we buy games from game
I'm being devil advocate just like you do for when I make a comment.
But that's how it works. That's how it works. We buy games.
If there was a demand, why wouldn't they ship out games to make money? It doesn't make sense. There must not be a demand out there.
But there is. But why do GMT, Lock and Load, and DVG do it? Because they can see the potential of extra sales. You can buy. Yes, we all buy the games from our friendly local game store, which are few and far between, especially in the UK. But we have to pay a premium for that because they get shipped over. They've got to put that on, and then there's the bit they've got to make their profit, and that's fair enough. So what you pay for a game is completely different to what we pay for a game. But if they had an incentive to, like GMT and Lock and Load, to let us get the games at a little bit of a discount, we might order a little bit more, and they get a little bit more profit because they're not going through third-party retailers. That's you know, I don't know what it's like in Europe for getting games. I know there are game companies in Europe.
As many of you know, the Legion War Games Limey Yank Games partnership allows us to offer low shipping costs for LWG games within the EU.
Wonderful. I didn't know about that, Chris. Limey is a company it's over here, isn't it? Yeah, it would be Limey. But yeah, okay, fantastic. They've obviously recognized the fact. I shall be checking that out.
Worthington Publishing has overseas shipping rates for their Kickstarters.
Yeah, but what is it? Is it very expensive? Case in point, MMP. They have their sale. Wonderful. I could have got Operation Mercury for $40, but they wanted $80 to ship it to me, or $90. No, ship it to me. What's the point? I know it's a big, heavy game, but if they said, "All right, it's going to cost you $40 to ship, or even $50," I might have done it because I'm saving a whack of a amount of money. But $90, I might as well get it over here, and I won't get it because it's an expensive game. But I might have done that if they'd have offered that shipping to.
You want to know why the game's so big and bulky and heavy to ship over there?
Yeah.
Because they have to put in all the inserts and the rule book and the dice and all their other advertisements and bullshit that they want to put in the game and all that weighs stuff. Now, if they didn't include that, they could probably ship the game over there for pretty cheap then, couldn't they?
What, as a print and play?
I'm sorry. If you can get the maps and the counters and the rule and the charts, wouldn't that be good enough to play the game?
But the counters are the main weight of the bloody game. And the maps and the counters are the main weight. So there's 150 sheets of counters, isn't there?
If there is a demand for this Why are game manufacturers not doing it?
Well, I've just found out about Legion Games. Maybe they're starting to wake up. If Legion Games are doing it, they recognise that there is a market, albeit not as big as the US market, but there is a market over this side that I think people would grab it. Legion. There's some games there I'd love, so I'm going to check that out now.
Okay, so so time for Jester to put his old thinking cap on, right? Here we go. Strap in, boys and girls. Get ready for some out of the world craziness here.
Oh, he's going to be.
If I was a game manufacturer here in the US, let's just say I'm Compass Games, right? And I want to start getting bigger and selling more of my games out there, right? But I don't want to ship them over to you guys, right? How am I going to go about that, right? So it seems to me like a very easy way to do this. Why doesn't Compass Games get a subsidiary over in Britain? They could email them the files and everything that they need for free, and then they just print them out over there. That way they don't cost anything to ship.
Or why don't they do what GMT do and charge you a EU shipping rate, send them over in crates to Second Chance Games, and then Second Chance Games send them out? Why don't they do that? Because they have to send them to retailers.
Because GMT is shipping out 5,000 games. Maybe Compass isn't sending 5,000 games. Maybe they're only sending 500 games.
I doubt that. But the principle's the same, isn't it? You're going to charge whatever it is because they've got to send these games out to retailers, and they send out a huge chunk. And they say, okay, we've got some pre-orders. We're going to send them along with the rest of the order that you've ordered. It's not going to cost that much because it goes in the same container. We've got the crate, blah, blah, blah. When you get it, here's a list of all the people that have pre-ordered it and they've paid their postage, blah, blah, blah. Send these ones out first, please. Just like GMT do. I can't see what the problem is, to be honest.
Do you guys over there in England, do you guys have a printing? Do you guys know how to print?
Well, America doesn't, evidently, because 99.9% of their games are printed.
That's true. GMT uses American printers, so. But do you guys have anybody out there that can print something in Britain? I don't. As a game manufacturer, right? I don't see why we have to ship everything to China to print because it's so much cheaper. Blah 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 blah. Right?
That's weird. That says made in China. But anyway, I digress. And I can see why they do it because it's cheaper. And that's another problem, too much reliance on China. And David Heath himself was saying he can't find a printer in the whole of the huge United States that comes up to his standards. So, asking us to print them is like asking you guys to print it.
Well, easier and cheaper to do it that way.
Of course it would.
Right? If I could find, okay, here's a radical idea, right? And maybe I'll just have to do this because game manufacturers are idiots, or the process is an idiot, maybe, which is more of a reasonable thing to say. In that, maybe I just need to move to England and create my own printing company because, like, literally, there's got to be somebody in England that prints stuff, right? And if you can't find them, right, then there's not enough printing companies to do this. Just like in the United States, right? The problem with the United States isn't that they don't come up to standards. The problem is they don't have the time and effort, and because you're not creating a million print run, right? You're only doing 8,000 or 10,000 or whatever.
True.
Printing companies are saying, I don't have time for that crap. It's not worth my money because you're only doing 5,000 or 6,000 copies of the game. I could do this book and they're selling 250,000 copies. I'll think I print the book instead, right?
Right.
So if somebody's smart and somebody out there is watching this, right, and you live over there in England, you should create your own printing company specifically designed for game manufacturers. You can literally get every game manufacturer to print your games and then ship them and sell them in the same country.
Right. Now scale that down. You said they don't want to know about 5,000 copies because they're doing 250,000 prints. We're much smaller. Somebody says, "Can you do me 200 copies of that?" No, you're having a laugh, mate. I've got to do 2,000 copies of this, 2,000 copies of that. I haven't got time to do 100 or 200 copies. Same problem. It's just scaled down, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the thing. And I got proof that that's not true. I've got proof. If you want to go through it again, I can go through it again, right? If you think their printing is better, let's take a look at their printing. Let's do it, shall we?
Oh, no. All right.
Here we go. Let's talk about how well they printed their shit over there in China.
Sorry,
right?
I didn't mean it was better.
So,
It was
China doesn't print it any better than the United States when their customers get crap like that.
I meant cheaper. Oh,
I don't tell me they're better. Maybe they're cheaper, but they ain't better.
I meant to say cheaper. Cheaper. No, cheaper.
No, it says quality is much better. Their quality is crap over there in China.
In some China companies, obviously, yes. But the point I'm making is that even GMT are using China because it's cheaper, and it's of the quality that GMT and their customers find acceptable. And as I said, I'll say again, David Heath from Lock and Load was trying to find somebody over in your part of the world to keep the costs, to make it, so he can also, because of logistics, they can get from A to B if there's any problems. Whereas if it's China, it's a problem, but he can't find anybody. So everybody uses China. And if they find a printer and that they're happy with, they're going to stick with them. For the life of me, I don't know why certain companies change their printers and then
somebody explain to me, anyone, that it's cheaper to send the stuff electronically, more than likely, or maybe you ship them out in envelopes, the proofs or whatever you're sending over to China, have them print it and pay for the shipping to come back. How can that be cheaper than getting them printed in the United States?
Obviously it isn't.
How can that possibly?
I don't know. I think it's a case of what you said, that because the print runs are so low compared to what a print company is dealing with, they are put at the bottom and they go, it's gonna, I don't want to know. I've got to set all this up, I've got to do this, blah, blah, blah. I think that's the problem. It's not that they're, it's just if Lock and Load said, I want you to print 200,000 copies of this game, yeah, they'd be lining up and undercutting each other. But game companies don't do that, do they? They work in the.
That's what I'm saying. If somebody's smart, right, they would start a printing company in Britain or Europe, somewhere over there in Europe, and start giving decent prices. You can make millions of dollars because there's game manufacturers that would love for you to print this stuff and send it to their customers.
Do you not think that would have happened if that was the case? Some entrepreneur would have gone,
know. Why wouldn't it? If somebody like me was out there and said, oh, this is what we need to do, they should do it.
Most printing companies have got enough work and a high volume to not warrant doing our games, I think. But that's my quandary. It's great to see if that. I'm going to check that out, Chris, about Legion Games, because there's some games that are coming out from them guys that I want to have a look at. And if they're doing Euro-friendly zapping, I don't know if they're using Limey, aren't they? So I'll check that out. Yeah, that's great. That's another one. So that's GMT, Lock and Load, and hopefully Legion.
I mean, I feel bad for you guys over there. I mean, there shouldn't be this, and I'm not just talking about you guys. There shouldn't be this reliance in China to print their stuff. Okay, game manufacturers, right, need to step up and I don't know why they don't get together with one another and decide, let's all chip in and create our own printing company, and then we'll each line up and print our games every month. I mean, there's ways around this. Maybe that's not the best way to do it, but
how can you say? Yeah.
I mean, you're only printing 5,000 or 6,000 copies, right? Okay, that's fine. Then you're going to find a smaller printing company, right? But they tell me, oh, they're not as good quality. Well, why are they not as good quality? Why are they not as good quality when you go to a smaller printing company? I don't know. I'm not a
big printing company if they were, wouldn't they? I suppose.
Huh?
But there'd be why don't small printing companies want to do it and their quality is as good? Why isn't their quality as good? If it was, there'd be a big printing company, wouldn't they? Custer makes a point there. 250,000 war games a year. Is that how many are printed in a year? That equals a book. Yeah, that equals a book from an ex-celebrity, from a Z celebrity. You know, so we are in a quandary. Things are slowly getting better.
All right, so let's say China gets they're pickle in a bunch, right? And they're going to stop printing their stuff, and the trade wars start because of something happens, right? What are you all going to do then, right?
Play our games we've got on our shelves.
It drives me crazy that they have this reliance on China because it's cheaper and they can do blah 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 blah. Okay, China, somebody needs to step up. GMT needs to step up and create their own printing company. I think one of the game wasn't it Critical Hit who printed all of his own stuff, right? Critical Hit can do it. Why can't GMT? Why can't Decision Games print their own stuff?
Well, the problem with China is they've got not only our niche over a barrel, but a lot of things over a barrel that they rely. Companies over here and over there rely on them to do it, and they're sitting back and they're doing it. If China one day said, "That's it," there'd be. Can you imagine what would happen? The world would come to a standstill. But to do in-house printing, I think would cost an exorbitant amount of money to get the right equipment, to get the quality that company wants in their components. It's just, I think, because of the way that this is my opinion, the reliance of China is that there's no way out. Now that's it. They've got to buy the short and curlies, and if they decide one day to say that's it, God knows what will happen worldwide. But that's the problem. It's come in, we're cheap, we're good.
I mean, and then people are just screwing themselves. I'm telling you, you can't. You can't do this because sooner or later, there's going to be something that comes up, and then what are you going to do, right? Is GMT going to go out of business because for a year China says, screw you, we're not printing anything, right? And you get no games produced for a whole year or 2 years or whatever. You can't rely on that. And if you are relying on it, it's your own selfishness that has done that, okay? And I'm not just talking about GMT. I'm talking about any game company out there, right?
And there are some companies
push the last 5-10 years, make America proud again and use American products and blah, blah, blah. Well, then, damn it, people should be doing that. And not if it costs them a little bit more money, right? If it costs them a little bit more money, is me as a customer, if they put on the website, right? And they said, this game, $79, scratched it off, and they're going to put $89 on there. and they put down printed in the United States, and they had like a nice little article that explains that they are going to start using American companies, and it's going to cost us a little bit more money. How many people do you think are going to go, oh, you know what? I'm canceling my pre-order or my P500 because it's going to cost me an extra $10.
Yeah, they wouldn't. They wouldn't. But even companies that pride
If
themselves.
If you do that for a couple of years, then all of a sudden your reliance on China goes down. You can do it. You have to make a point to do it. The problem is, and this goes with most companies, is it's all about the bottom dollar. It's all about the bottom dollar. How much money can we make off of this, right? I'm not going to produce your game, right? I talked to Mike Denson on Wednesday about last 100 yards and how he got it to, introduced it to the company and blah, blah, blah. And they weren't going to do anything with it unless they figured they could make X amount of dollars with it, right? You could have the best game in the world.
Well, that's fair enough, though, isn't it? That's business. But what I'm saying, what I wanted to say was there are some companies that prided, and I say the word prided themselves on printing in the United States. But even some of their games now are printed in China, especially the ones with the mounted boards, because the price would be too much for somebody to pay if it was printed at home.
Somebody record this and put it in a time capsule, because in the next 5 to 10 years, I'm going to come on my show and I'm going to tell you, ha, 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 I told y'all, and he didn't do anything about it. And now you're going to pay the price, right? So when our war games go from $79 to $179 because all of a sudden China says, screw you, I'm not printing it unless you pay me this amount of money. Then the customer is going to be like, well, wait a minute, I'm not going to buy war games anymore because it's going to cost me $100 more. And it's all because game manufacturers kept going down this path and they refuse to not. And if they choose to go down this path, then they're going to pay the piper, and us as the customers are going to end up getting the shaft in the long run.
Yeah, quite true. And without becoming political, Jezza makes a good point there. Who you do business with reflects upon you as a company as well. But I just think we're too far down that road now. And that's all of us. We all rely on cheap goods from that part of the world. We all want the stuff. But as you say, one day, and this may be the master plan, one day they're going to go, hold on.
With this episode in the time capsule, we can play it on the news some night and tell everybody. Chester tried to warn everybody, but nobody listened. Again, how many times do I got to come back and tell you all you should have listened to me to begin with?
It's a sad thing, but would I pay extra? You see, it's different. You've got your, made proudly in the USA, yeah, and I can understand that that's a very big thing. For us over here, at the moment, I think the majority, maybe, I could be wrong, don't care where it's printed, and as long as the price is right. I'd love to see, back in the old days, I'd love to see made in the UK on stuff again, and we made that. We were a very big manufacturing country until China came along.
People always say, oh, I wish I could, I want to do this, that, and the other thing, and nobody steps up and does it. That's part of the issue, right? If somebody over there wanted to print for war game companies, they could do it. You can do anything if you put your mind to it and you have the desire to do it. You can do anything. People don't, oh yeah, we should do this and blah, blah, blah. And they don't because, it's cheaper and easier just to go to order in China, right? And then people go, oh, okay, well, it's going to save me $10. Then I'll buy your game because it's cheaper now because you printed it in China. And then you go down this path and it doesn't change until somebody steps up and does something about it.
I dare say, I could be wrong, and I hope I am, but one day this is going to come back and bite us in the bum.
I know it is. I absolutely know it is. It's wargaming and sports gaming and board gaming, which are the three things that I do, are all the exact same way. The exact same way.
But until then, I'll keep buying them. P500s. Sorry, I made a mockery of it. Sorry.
And like I said, you're not going to get any change from any company, right? You're not going to change the industry until the dollar, right, starts eating into their wallet. Then all of a sudden they'll change, right? So we can say we want pre-rounded counters, and they can tell us, oh yeah, it's just too hard to print that because the people in China don't do it that way. Well, you know what? If their pre-orders never got to 500 because everyone said, no, I'm not ordering your shit unless it comes pre-rounded, then guess what? The game manufacturers would change their attitude about that. And by the way, I should mention, because this is super important, and I want everyone to know, right? The last 100 yards, airborne over Europe, from GMT, right, comes with punch-out pre-rounded counters. Huh?
Nicely sorted.
Well, they're not sorted, but they come with punch-out pre-rounded counters.
Lovely.
All those people that have been saying, oh, it's too expensive for you to do it, that's a bunch of hogwash, because we just had a brand new game from GMT with punched-out pre-rounded counters.
And where was that game made?
I don't know. Let's see. Where was it made? Where does it tell me?
Down the bottom on the back.
Made in China.
There you go.
But, for the last 6 months, they've been saying game manufacturers should be able to create games with pre-rounded counters that you can punch out of your counter sheets without having to clip them, without having to, cut them out of the counter sheets. Oh, no, GMT doesn't do that. It's too expensive for them to do that. Well, that's a bunch of hogwash. Y'all see it right here. Y'all see it. It can be done. And guess what? They're already on their second print run of the original last 100 yards. So they sold out all the first print run, and they're on the second print run. So don't tell me they can't do it because they did it.
No, that's great. But without getting political, it's the way of the world at the moment. And I'd love for us to manufacture stuff. I'm going to be looking at some more European publishers, but I don't know because we're not in the EU and there may be taxes and all this. It's just getting bonkers. All I want is to get a game. Thank you. Can you send me a game?
Here's the thing: of the 4 Kickstarters that I still haven't received, all 4 of those are being published and produced in Europe.
Yeah, that's all these taxes now, isn't there?
So maybe you should get on the Kickstarter website and see what's out there. One of them, 2, and I would say 2 to 3 of the 4 are war games. So,
yeah, I'll just wish people like VUCA Simulations would bring out their games a bit quicker. They've only got a couple. They're great games. They're in Germany, and that shouldn't cost too much to ship over here. So I'll be looking at that. But the problem is, you see, the big game manufacturers, GMT, Lock and Load, and Compass and all that, are over in your part of the world. Why don't they open a branch over here? That would be nice.
They should. Hey, before we go, did anybody actually miss Tony today? If you missed Tony, let us know. Because we talked in the beginning. We don't even know how he got on the show every week. It was like we had him on as a special guest one week. Then he just freaking showed up and we couldn't get rid of him.
Yeah. No, I'm pleased. I'm pleased in a way. But that subject is very emotive, isn't it? Sorry, I brought it up. I didn't, but it is. I'm just looking from my point of view, trying to get games, cheaper than waiting for them to come over here and have all the bits and pieces added on. And as somebody said in the chat, even if you made them in America and shipped them over here, I don't think the price would change that much. So we like to get them over there at a bit of a discount. We don't ask for much, Governor, and we're grateful, for people like Lock and Load and GMT to save us a couple of quid on the games and get them a little bit quicker. So it's good.
Changes could be done. They could, and things could get better. But unless it's going to help the bottom dollar, it's not going to get done until there's an emergency.
So what's the saying? Money talks, the other thing walks, doesn't it?
Yeah,
so
and unfortunately, we are where we are because a lot of bad decisions led us down this path, and we're kind of in this. We're stuck in this rut now.
Well,
anyways, we gotta go shortly. We gotta log off. We gotta sign out. We got so much to talk about and so much to discuss, and had such a good time. And we didn't have Tony here. And wow,
if you want to change, go into government, go and get elected. I'd vote for you.
Well, there you go.
There you go. See, sorted. You can put all these
people you're supposed to vote for, right? Yeah, don't just vote for some Yahoo. Yeah. So, anyways, a lot of good topics, discussions. Thank you all for joining us. We do appreciate it. Once again, we went old school today. No Tony. He's out there babbling with somebody else.
I missed him. He got a bit. See,
we don't know how he even got on the show to begin with. We talked ahead of time,
but the good thing is he is the sort of settling bit of the thing. And when things get a bit out of hand, he's the one that goes, brings it, calms it all down. He wasn't here, a bit heated, and that I love. I don't mind that, but he would have brought it all down. Sort of calm down, got the old candles out. He would have done. So I've missed him, but it was good fun. What?
It was fun going old school. It was fun. So we didn't even have a guest tonight because we wanted to just go old school, back like the good old days, just me and Ruff hanging out, talking. So anyways, everyone, thank you all for coming by. We'll see you all next week. We will probably, hopefully, without giving anything away, hopefully have a special guest next week, which will have a special announcement, but we'll see. We'll see. If not, be sure to tune in next week and see if we can even decide to let Tony back in.
Oh, bless him. Thanks, guys.
It's my show. I can do what I want. Screw Tony. Thank you all. Dave, Jay, Steeler fan, Chris, Ingray, Hithwell, Jezza, Steeler fan, John. Of course, our good friend Mike, who's going to hook us up with Wolfpack very soon. So stay tuned for announcement on that.
And Britain does make the best minis. Yes.
I'm sorry?
Britain does make the best minis. As I think, is it Jezza or somebody said? Yeah, Jezza. Yeah, does make the. Sorry.
Sure. You can get minis over there. You just can't get a board game.
That's true.
See you all next week. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.